Sponsored by World of Tanks. Hello again. Welcome back, soldier. Today, you're being inducted into my special unit, the Bean Berets. In this induction, I'm going to be showing you some of Battlefield 4's wackiest tactics in tier list form. Some are good, some are bad, some might get you sent to the naughty corner, and some are cursed. What I ask in return for this forbidden knowledge is a promise, a commitment, to go out to your local Battlefield servers, put this training into practice, and share in the chaos with your fellow beans. I want no map unconquered, no server untouched, and I want our slimy, Heinz Beans flavored mark to be left upon the Battlefield 4 community. We start at F tier, move up to S tier, and perhaps go beyond. So, let us begin. First on our list, the so-called long-range sniper. You know this guy. Maybe you are this guy. You are this guy. Aren't you? He sits at the back of the map with his 40 times scope and misses 52 consecutive shots before hitting one guy in the body. I don't care if you think you're God's gift to sniping, nothing useful comes from sitting in the back and doing nothing. So get in there and stop being a backline bitch! F tier. Next, exclusively using the The hell is this? Ah! Wait, what? Money? Sponsor? No. Really? Yo! That's right, boyos. This video is sponsored by World of Tanks. Have you been sitting inside for far too long? Has your aggression been building to the point of enragement? Well, now you can transport yourself back to 1939, screaming across the fields of France in one of 550 different tanks. Destroyers, artillery, little lads, medium lads, and chungoids. Infinite possibilities. And did I mention, not only can you zoom and zoom across France, you can also go outside of France. Climb steep hills, sneak through German forest, tear across some desert. Probably not this one. Engage in close quarters urban combat. That's right, there are 40 battle arenas. You may be thinking, 550 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. Sure is. Surely they're lowly detailed and unrealistic. Nope. Historical accuracy is #1 priority in World of Tanks. This means that you could feel like a tank, taking part in a furious armored offensive. Shoot tanks, earn experience, modify your tank, shoot even more tanks. O continues the vicious cycle. Surely with all this content, it costs money, right? Nope. To top it all off, gentlemen, the game is 100% free, with 100 million players worldwide, and for PC. Now that I have your attention, download World of Tanks using the first link in the description. During the registration, use the code TANKMANIA to get a free 7-day premium account, 250,000 credits, the premium tank Excelsior, tier 5, and 3 rental tanks for 10 battles each. Tiger 131, tier 6, Cromwell B, tier 6, and T-3485M, tier 6. Now onto the video. Next, exclusively using the mortar in your team's base, and not anywhere else. Just your base. These people are known in the community as mortards. Easily the most brain-dead tactic on this entire list. You set up your mortar, and click on the orange Doritos on the screen. You don't have to move, you don't have to think. You just click the left mouse button and are occasionally rewarded with neuron activation. Now sure, mortars can be a kind of useful gadget for getting people to move off of a rooftop or building, but we're a mortard, so we don't do that. We set up at the back of the map and kill 3 guys in a 40-minute game. F tier. Next up, the DS3 decoy. Probably the most useless gadget in the entire game. When thrown, it shows the enemy team a little orange Dorito on the map as if it was one of your teammates. This is a fairly decent concept, and maybe you could use it to lure some unsuspecting enemies into your trap. But in practice, it just doesn't fucking work. It takes up a slot that could be used for any other gadget and is more or less completely useless. Excellent. F tier. Go away. Lastly, we have AT mines. What? AT mines? I love AT mines. I use them all the time. Who said that? God, these things suck. Sure, you might get 1, maybe 2 kills with them, but most of the time the tank will see them, and you'll have wasted your time. Hooray. In trying to get some footage with these things, I got a massive 1 kill. This was after placing the mines directly in front of the enemy spawn, which made me feel like a very slimy AT mine user. Ugh. In order to use AT mines, you need to sacrifice either a rocket launcher or your repair tool, each of which is far more useful. F tier. Shit gadget. Moving on to D tier, we begin with AA mines. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't AA mines just Sky AT mines? No. Now you only get 1 AA mine, as opposed to 6 AT, and I've gotten a good fat 0 kills with it. But, they're pretty good for a maneuver I like to call the whack and smack. If a helicopter is getting a little too cozy, you throw the AA mine down and whip out your rocket launcher. The AA mine immediately launches a rocket, hits the helicopter for 40 damage, and kills its mobility for a few seconds. In this golden window of opportunity, you then press mouse 1, and hit him with the... Fuck. I said, hit him with the... Oh, come on. I said, hit him with the... Yeah! And then, you hit him with the... So it's not useless, but it's also not great. D tier. The mortar. Now that our brain has grown beyond the spinal column, we're able to move around the map, and then use the mortar. Very advanced, I know. It's a pretty good tool for removing people from rooftops, but other than that, it's still a bit useless. And most importantly, boring. The mobile artillery also falls into this category, but now we can shoot at the orange tank. It's still pretty boring though. D tier. Moving on, we have the Airburst and 40mm LVG. These weapons are in the same vein as the mortar, in that they require very little brain activation to use. Simply find a choke point on a close quarters map, and click your left mouse button. D tier. Next up, the solution to everyone's disappointing affinity to getting killed by bullets. The Ballistic Shield. This bad boy can block all incoming fire when equipped. Unfortunately, that's about it. Now sure, it does have some uses. For instance, going up elevators that are held by enemies. In this clip, this fucking legend peeked around the corner with his shield, managed to distract me with shooting his feet for just a second, went full Marty Robbins on me. You can also smack people with it. D tier. For the last item in D tier, we have claymores and slams. Now I know slams are pretty much the same as AT mines, but really they're better. You can put them on walls, you can put them on vehicles, you can throw them horizontally, and be generally more creative. Sure, they do a bit less damage, but they're a little better in all other situations. Claymores are pretty shit, but they're very useful for annoying high-level players. Simply put one in a dark corner of a room, and it's basically a free kill. D tier. Here in C tier, the tactics get a bit spicier, and also become fun. Truly an alien concept to most Battlefield players. Starting us off, we have road killing. Pretty self-explanatory. Run your vehicle into an enemy's soft, squishy, meat-packed body, and they die. Now this is not the most effective tactic, but it's very fun. Now of course, you're vulnerable when going for road kills. When players see a fast-moving quad bike hurtling towards them, they don't see danger, they see a free kill. So, you must be stealthy, and attack from where they least expect. C tier. Next on the list, the various types of grenade launchers in the game. We got the 40mm and the 40mm 3GL. These are both a little better than the bouncy as fuck LVG of D tier, but only by a little. The difference between these two is the 40mm goes while the 3GL goes. Now of course, the 3GL does less damage per shot, but the sound entirely makes up for it. Excellent. C tier. Levolutions, or Level Evolutions. Wow. When this game first came out, much of the advertising showed huge buildings falling over, dams collapsing, chimneys toppling down, the Arecibo Observatory undergoing catastrophic failure. Huh. Well, it's still just as cool today. Each map in the game has some main destructible event that changes how it's played. On Siege of Shanghai, the massive tower in the middle of the map collapses. On Langkang Dam, the dam can be destroyed. On Hainan Resort, the sides of this building can collapse. And on Caspian Border, this big boy tower can be destroyed. Now, this all sounds great, and the animations are still incredible all these years later, but most of the time, kinda ruins the map. Especially on Siege of Shanghai. That being said, C tier. Still pretty cool. Now generally, in Battlefield 4, you shoot people with guns, but for this tactic, we're ditching all ranged weapons in favor of stabbing people in the neck with our knife. Without knowing what you're doing, going knife only tends to suck. But if you employ the Batman strategy, you may find more success. Batman stands for big, angry, testosterone-fueled man attacking at night. Very scary, no doubt. I found the most success on the map Dawnbreaker, where you can place spawn beakers high up on skyscrapers and repeatedly drop down to stealthily attack people's necks. Bonus points if you also use the Phantom Bow to become a full ninja. C tier. Speaking of the Phantom Bow, we have using shit weapons. As it turns out, running around the battlefield like some 14th century longbowman is not conducive to long-term success, which is a fancy way of saying that 90% of the time, you'll eat shit. But that 10%, oh boy, does it feel good.
I got him.
Killing someone with the bow is a very persuasive, I am better than you kind of statement. To really go for gold, you can equip the bow as your primary, and the mare's leg as a secondary. A really, really shit lever action rifle. Once you get 90 kills with the mare's leg, you even get the 40x scope. Yep, the 40x scope. What an incredible piece of technology. Sure, deliberately handicapping yourself with bad guns doesn't sound great, but trust me, it's a lot more fun than these things down here, and it's more fun than just using this. Ugh. C tier. Next on our lovely list, the Suave. The Suave is a paper airplane that can be thrown and steered around to find enemy players. Its main purpose is to spot people and laser designate vehicles. But really, we all know that using it as a battering ram and plunging it deep into the hearts of your enemies is its real purpose. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can only kill one guy per Suave, so it's not the most effective, but definitely very fun. C tier. Passive radar missiles. These aren't very fun, but they are actually decent. There are 3 types of anti-air missiles in the game. Heat Seekers, Active Radar, and Passive Radar. Heat Seekers need to lock on before they can be fired, which gives the enemy aircraft a lot of warning before you shoot. Active Radar missiles can be fired without locking on and immediately track. They're better and give the enemy much less time to react, but are still not a guaranteed hit. Then there's Passive Radar missiles, the best of both worlds. You can shoot them before you lock someone, let the missiles gain heaps of speed, and then lock your target. It may seem like we're giving the enemy some time to react, but quite often they have literally no time because of lag compensation and are a guaranteed hit. Wonderful. Only drawback is that the weapons that the passive radar missiles replace are usually much better. Unless they're heat seekers. C tier. Speaking of aircraft, does anyone actually know how to use these things? Of course not. It's not like they're the most powerful vehicles in the game or anything. That would be ridiculous. Real gamers do not use jets as intended by the developers. Real gamers do not use the munitions on the jet, but use the jet as a munition. You take your jet, find some unfortunate tank somewhere on the map, and roleplay as a GBU-12 500-pound aerial laser-guided bomb. Incredible. C tier. Last of C tier, we have by far the most powerful vehicle in the game. The skid loader. This bad boy can fit one guy in the cabin, one guy on the back, and one brave, courageous, heroic soldier in the bucket. It dies in one hit to basically anything. It's slow as shit, but by God, is it fun.
Got him.
Get out, you're gonna die.
No, it's okay. It was not okay.
C tier.
You don't scare me!
In B tier, the tactics get a bit better, and the game gets more fun. For our first item in B tier, we drive around in a car, doing drive-bys on the local pedestrians. Works better with a friend, but friends are not necessary. That's what I tell myself anyway. All you need is a buggy. You can roadkill people, shoot people with the gun on top, run away from tanks while making monkey noises. Oh, there's a tank right on the right. A whole world of possibilities opens when you choose the buggy lifestyle. B tier. Flashbangs. Simple and effective. Fling a flashbang, or 12, into a small opening and charge in after it pops. With some luck, the enemies will be blind and you can shoot them in the head. You can also stick them into a 40mm grenade launcher and blind people at least 40 meters away. Solid. B tier. Hey, you guys hear that? Uh-oh. Oh shit! Ah, get down! Anyway, that's right lads, we're taking it back to 1960s Vietnam. The transport helicopter. Get some friends, get in the chopper, and get on the guns. These things are pretty fucked. You can kill helicopters and jets pretty quick. Infantry will simply melt when shot at with 6,000 rounds per minute, and even some light armored vehicles can be destroyed. A very underutilized vehicle for tearing shit up. B tier. Now, Let's take the brain cells we've been developing and throw them all in the bin. The AC-130. This time, however, it's incredibly strong. The primary gun on the plane is the same as a tank cannon, but unlike most tanks, it can fly. Enemy land vehicles are just kind of fucked until you're dealt with. Not to mention, there are 2 other guns. Not a super exciting way of playing the game, but definitely pretty effective. B tier. Hardcore, the game mode. Hardcore has this following of people who seem to think that it takes way more skill than regular Battlefield, and it's so much more realistic. Shut the fuck up! God, all these people just all just non-stop whinging, complaining. Oh, it's not realistic. Shut up! Hardcore lowers your HP from 100 to 60. Not a huge change, but it completely destroys all of the carefully adjusted weapon balance, and results in whoever clicks first wins. Amazing. It's also not a realistic game, and nor is Hardcore. Sure, it can be a little more difficult, and you may get team killed every now and then, but that's not why you play Hardcore. You play Hardcore to abuse the fucked weapons. Sniper rifles, which now one hit anywhere in the body, and explosives of any sort are stupidly strong. The only populated Hardcore server in the OCE region doesn't allow shotguns, so you'll have to use your imagination for these clips, but they're basically snipers that can't miss. Quite fun. B tier. For the final item in B tier, we have all the battle pickups. If you see this icon on the map, it means there is a strong gun sitting there waiting for you to use it. Battle pickups come in all shapes and sizes. There's the USAS-12 with frag rounds, the AMR-2 sniper that one-hits guys anywhere you hit them, the M32 grenade launcher with 6 40mm grenades, the M136 rocket launcher that can do a ridiculous 80 damage to a tank. There's this little drone called the Roar, and this flying fuck called the XD-1, and of course, the coolest weapon in the game, the railgun. Pretty cool. B tier. Moving up to A tier, the UCAV, or UCAV for short. A small drone that's launched from a tube and flies at very fast speeds. It's a lot like the SWAV for the Recon, but it flies much faster and packs a very powerful explosive warhead. I understand, I may take some flack for loving this thing, as it's pretty much just non-stop free kills, but it's pretty much just non-stop free kills. Oh my god! For infantry out in the open, it's unavoidable instant death. It does a guaranteed 20 damage against tanks, even through APS. You can kill the pilot out of helicopters with some consistency. Takes a bit of getting used to the controls, but very fun once you do. Very good. A tier. Rockets. Aren't they cool? You got your RPGs, s'mores, MBT Lords, lots of options for blowing shit up. However, we have a problem. One rocket will do around 30 damage to a tank on a good hit, which means you need 4 rockets to kill it. So, get yourself some friends and pick out your large explosive shooter of choice. Not good for enemy tanks, which is precisely who you'll be fighting. Bada bing. Bada boom. Pro tip. Find an M136 rocket launcher on the map and use it. Quickly switch to your other launcher and then use that. Big results. Big. A tier. For our next item, we remove our left hand from the game and play on the stationary weapons. There are a few types of stationary weapons, but the main ones are the 50 cal and the tow launcher. Can you guess which is better? Yeah, the 50 cal sucks. But the tow launcher, oh boy. This bad boy shoots a steerable missile that hits very hard. Holy shit. And it destroys helis in one hit. A tier. In the same vein as the utter humiliation in dying to a tow missile, we have strapping up your Jeep with an obscene number of explosives, cranking up the ISIS music to full volume, revving the engine. Get the LAV! Yes! The great and noble C4 soldier. You must be sneaky, drive in from the lanes they least expect, and attack at the perfect moment. Guaranteed to generate huge lakes of salty tank drivers. Fuck off with gay C4 car pussy. A tier. MRAPs, or mine-resistant, ambush-protected vehicles. The mine-resistant part is a complete lie, by the way. These bad boys are light, fast vehicles with a big ol' 50 mounted on top. Great for you and a friend to drive around and shoot. And drive around a bit more, and shoot more. And drive a bit more, and shoot a bit more. Etc. These things are really fast, so if you see a big boy, run. A tier. Very similar to passive radar missiles, we have the Igla. This guy is a lot like the passive radar missiles, but is carried by dudes on the ground. This means, given enough teammates, you can have as many Iglas as you want. Much like the passive radar missiles, you don't shoot at the target you intend to hit first. Instead, you shoot at something else, let the missile gain lots of speed, and then lock on and hit your intended target. Nice. A tier. Speaking of shooting things with friends, we have getting yourself a squad, going to the back of the map, and causing trouble. Which means capturing their points. Specifically, the gimmies, or the ones next to their base. Of course, you need friends to do this. In this game, my friends and I went to Foxtrot on Zavod 311, placed mines all over the place, and generally caused lots of problems for the enemy team. If you want to win the game, this is a legit strategy to do so. A tier.
Laying down smoke.
Yeah, smoke grenades. These bad boys explode, put out a big cloud of smoke and obscure vision. That's all they do. D tier. Nah, just kidding. These things are extremely useful for pushing through tight choke points. Simply chuck some smoke at the end of the choke, run through and... Ah, fuck. Okay, this time. Throw the smokes, run in, and... I said, throw the smokes, run in, and... There we go. A tier. Instead of obscuring vision, this attachment obscures sound. That's right, the suppressor. No longer will you broadcast your location loudly and clearly to the entire enemy team. This guy makes your gun much quieter, which means it doesn't show up on the minimap when you shoot. So what, you may be thinking? Well, believe it or not, most players actively use the minimap to find enemies. Shocking, I know. Taking yourself off the minimap is very good for sneaking around and being naughty. A tier. Up next, the Rib. Rigid hull, inflatable boat. This thing is fast and has 4 seats for you and your buds. But most importantly, it has this thing, which is capable of shooting at a blistering 6,000 rounds per minute. This boat is pretty much the water version of the transport helicopter, with less protective shielding and 1 less minigun. Basically, this thing is a real man's vehicle. Miss your shots, and you die. Carelessly drive into enemy territory, and you die. But, position yourself correctly, time the enemy movements, and strike with power and ferocity, and you will certainly find great success. A tier. Moving a bit down the scale of destruction, we have the EOD bot, or Angry Warrior. This thing is the most chaotic gadget in the entire game. His intended purpose is to go around and repair friendly vehicles and arm MCOM objectives with its repair tool. However, this purpose is limiting and boring. The EOD bot is much better suited as a means of slowly and painfully blowtorching the kneecaps of your enemies. In one round of using this thing, I managed to get over 50 kills. Now, this only really works in close quarters maps like Lockers and Metro, but that's alright. Set yourself up next to a friendly ammo box and send a non-stop stream of explosive resistant, kneecap burning robots down the hall to your enemies. No. A tier. For our final item of A tier, we have light vehicles as a means of transportation. That's right. I thought for this item, we'll keep it simple and fun. Just driving around in your quad bike, without a care in the uh-oh. Jets? No. Bad. Far too easy. Helicopters? Absolutely not. Terrible. Cringe. Quad bikes? Now that's the stuff. Explosives in this game exert force on friendly vehicles when they're detonated. Given enough explosives, magical things can happen. Way over! Dude, I'm on A! Holy shit! You hit the roof! No way!
I'm on the roof.
Phenomenal. A tier. I know. We're 23 minutes into a Battlefield 4 video, and I've made no mention of the big ones. The units. The hefty fellas. The... Chungus. Vehicles. Not the transport helis or MRAPs, but the real big lads. tanks, LAVs, mobile anti-air, scout helicopters, attack boats, stealth jets, and attack jets. The big boys. Each of these vehicles has the capacity to completely turn the game. They each have powerful weapons, thick armor, or high mobility. In the community, the players that only seem to ever be inside vehicles are affectionately referred to as vehicle whores. I will admit to being a bit of a vehicle whore myself, but what can I say? It is pretty fun. I will now briefly explain all the vehicles. Scout helicopter. Minigun go. Shoot ants with minigun. Shoot tank with rocket. Run away when feeling scared. Attack boat. Use burst cannon. Kill ants. Use TV missile. Kill jet. And also... boat. Annoy jet. Jet come for you now. Die. Anti-air tank. Remove frontal lobe. Sit in spawn. Shoot at passing jet. Get no kills. Realize you are failure. Get bored. Run into battle. Turn infantry into Heinz tomato ketchup. See tank. Scream. Die. LAV. Use gun and go. Kill ants. Use tow missile. Kill helicopter. See tanks. Run away fast. Tank can't get you. See helicopter. Run away fast. Uh-oh. Tank. Big gun, go. Find LAV. Shoot LAV. Find tank. Shoot tank. Find ants. Shoot ants. See jet. Run away. Can't run away fast. Die. Attack jet. Big gun, go. Find tank. Pop tank. Drop bomb on tank. Find boat. Pop boat. Find helicopter. Pop helicopter. Find ant. More difficult to find. Drop bomb on ant. See stealth jet. Run away. Stealth jet too fast. Die. Attack helicopter pilot. Find ants. Sit still and let gunner shoot them. Find tanks. Destroy tanks. See helicopters. Destroy helicopters. See jet. Run. Die. Attack helicopter gunner. Click on white spots on screen. Rack up 200 kill streak. Shoot TV missile. Kill helicopter. Shoot TV missile. Miss. Die. Stealth jet. Find ants with laser guided missile. Shoot ants with 25mm cannon. Ants get angry. See stealth jet. Engage in 12-minute dogfight. Kill enemy jet. Annoy tanks with rocket. Annoy boats with rocket. Kill helicopters. Kill ants. You do not die. Stealth jet OP. S tier. Clear. Good job, Tim. Yep, that's right. The defibrillator. Quite the impressive piece of technology. Shot repeatedly and now dying on the floor? Defib. Several bullets have passed directly through your heart. Defib. A sniper has unfortunately delivered a 50 BMG round right into your nose. Defib. An LAV has sent 4 armor-piercing, fin-stabilized, discarding Saber warheads through your head. That's right. Defib. A tank has fired a high-explosive shell directly into your chest. The resulting explosion has separated not only your limbs from your body, but the skin, muscles, and bones from said limbs. You do not lie dead. Worse, you are a mere puddle. Your existence instantly wiped out. The horror of this event no doubt replaying in the minds of everyone unlucky enough to bear witness. You guessed it. Defib. The defibrillator is, as you can imagine, quite a powerful gadget. So get yourself a squad, and have them all use it. When one dies, run over and revive him. Bonus points if you all use the Combat Medic perk, which can double the speed of a full revive. S tier. Next, we've got the equivalent of shining a red laser around a cat. The Laser Designator. Or, the Acquire and Fire. Laze and Blaze. Lock and cock. The Recon class has several gadgets that are capable of laser designating vehicles. Once a vehicle is laser designated, it can be locked onto by certain rocket launchers and vehicle weapons. The resulting hit will deal way more damage, all the while being able to fire out of line of sight and not having to hold on to the lock. Also works against jets. Get your buddy to play Recon and laze everything he sees. You then play as an engineer with the Javelin and anti-tank perk. He locks, you cock. Pretty simple. S tier. Now, what guns do you think are best? Well, that's a bit of an impossible question to answer, so let's narrow it down. What guns are the best on Operation Locker? Maybe the Ace-23 assault rifle. High rate of fire, 35 bullets, good range? No. How about the SKS? Fast-firing DMR, kills in 3 shots, has very good range? No. Maybe the AEK-971, the sweaty tryhard's weapon of choice. Very high rate of fire, high damage, very little recoil and spread? No. The Scar H, hard hitting, no. The FAMAS, no. All these weapons pale in comparison to the true dominators of close quarters battle. The shotguns. Why bother shooting a guy 3, 4, even 5 times when one will do? Instead of shooting a continuous stream of 10 bullets, why not condense that into a single spray of lead pellets? Shotguns. If all you need is one shot, you can beat anyone, given you shoot fast. My favorites of the shotgun genre would be the SPAS 12, 870 MCS, and Saiga 12K. Want a bit more range? Use flechette rounds. Want a DMR in shotgun form? Slug rounds are the way to go. Or maybe you just want to blow shit up. Frag rounds. The 40mm grenade launchers also come with buckshot variants that can one-shot guys at an incredibly stupid range. But wait, there's more! Shotguns are also very good at annoying people. Very fun. S tier. Next in our list, a very basic mechanic of Battlefield 4. Spotting people. Oh my god, why doesn't everyone spot? I will now demonstrate how to spot an enemy in Battlefield 4. Incredible. This will place the enemy's exact position on the minimap and also puts a big, fat, orange, or some other color, Dorito over their head for a few seconds. It's basic, fundamental even, but spotting is incredibly important. So do it, please! S tier. So, we've learned that the stationary tow missile is very effective. Well, what if we took the exact same thing and stuck it onto a boat or LAV? Great things, no doubt. The tow missile on vehicles retains its incredible power and then adds to it by allowing the launcher to move. Wow. In a similar vein to tow missiles, we have TV missiles. These guys are available for the attack boat and attack helicopter. They're technically available in the attack jet, but don't. Just don't. The TV missile is a missile that you control with the mouse. A good way to think about it is that you become the missile. And in more ways than one. S tier. So, you've taken my advice and are now exclusively using vehicles. The map Parasol Storm comes on. You hop in your boat, equip the TV missile, and look for trouble. But, before you even see an enemy, you've been hit by an enemy TV missile. This just won't do. Well, remember that I said when you shoot a TV missile, you become the TV missile. This is true in more ways than one. As it turns out, this game was never completely polished. So when you shoot a TV missile, you literally do become the missile. Your soul is transferred from human being driving a boat into this small piece of metal hurtling across the sky. This means that somehow you can shoot at a TV missile and it'll do damage to the driver of the boat. Armed with this knowledge, it's still really hard to actually pull it off and kill a boat pilot, but it can be done. Yeah. Dumb, broken, overpowered. S tier. Remember how much I like spotting? Well, this gadget is made exclusively for spotting enemies. The MAV. This little guy has a thermal camera and is able to fly. It's effectively a way of getting valuable information without any real risk. You can then perform the complex maneuver of mashing the shit out of the Q key and revealing everyone on the map. You then get off the MAV, glue your eyes to the minimap, and shoot guys advancing on you. A very useful gadget for almost any situation. It can also destroy equipment, like radio beacons, tugs, mortars, even explosives. S tier. In Battlefield, there is usually a spread of good maps and not so good maps. Sure, they aren't bad, but can be pretty frustrating. However, these maps usually possess some fun or interesting spots to go to. For example, on the map Rogue Transmission, if the boys and I are having a shit game, we'll get in the transport helicopter and fly up to the radio telescope. Or, as we call it, the Rogue Transmission. These fun spots tend to be high up and relatively safe. You can also try using explosives to launch vehicles on top of places. This is more difficult, but very fun. Other good spots include the skyscrapers on Dawnbreaker and the big boy in Siege of Shanghai. Anywhere where you can jump down and ruin someone's day from. S tier. The Party Lab. Yet again, you need some buddies. Get everyone to hop in the LAV, which can seat a pretty solid 6 sweaty men. 2 of them deal the damage, those being the driver and gunner, while the other 4 should be responsible for repairing the vehicle and shooting rockets at bad guys. You can even combine this with the laser designator by getting the gunner to equip Gunner SOFLAM. You can then laze an enemy vehicle and have all your boys hop out and shoot a rocket at it. This is guaranteed to ruin someone's day. S tier. Speaking of ruining people's day, the UCAV has returned yet again. This time, however, we need 5 brave and noble UCAV-wielding soldiers. You can see in the UCAV spam tactic, I noted that it does 20 damage when it hits into a tank or other heavy vehicle. Well, the observant among you may have done some simple arithmetic and divided 100, the total health of the vehicle, by 20, the damage of the UCAV, and came to 5, which is the number of UCAVs necessary to take a tank from 100 HP to 0. So I did exactly this. Got 5 boys together, unlocked the UCAV slowly and painfully with all of them, and then began the day ruining on a truly monumental scale.
Oh my god, this is actually really cool.
3, 2, 1, go. There's the boat. I see it, It's on the other side of sea. Oh, that's 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5 hit. S tier. So that's our conventional unit, but sometimes warfare calls for unconventional tactics. These following tactics are the unconventional tactics among unconventional tactics. They are the least expected, and as such, may get you removed from the server. Perhaps permanently. First, we have using the MAV to kill people. Remember how I said that it can destroy explosives? Well, these explosives do damage to enemies. Pretty neat, but this is in fact an intended tactic. What is not intended is getting a friend on the enemy team to exclusively plant explosives around his teammates' feet. Incredible. Tier. Look at these fucks. Think they're better than us? Little do they know, the battlefield soldier is also capable of great mountain climbing feats. Only on Operation Locker though. Between C and D, you can jump into the red zone here to sneak past people. Between D and E is a spot that you can reach by jumping here, then climbing around the side, then running up this slope. This part has lots of invisible skyboxes that go all the way around to D. This is far from an exhaustive list, so experiment, and find yourself some even more interesting spots. Tier. Next up, this one won't get you banned, but it is very unconventional, and pretty fun. A selection of the small Easter eggs on some of the maps. I plan to go into detail on the Phantom Assignment Easter eggs, but they're way too long, so you'll have to look into them yourself. For Parasol Storm, we have the Megalodon. The Megalodon Easter egg is fairly simple to pull off. First, get yourself up to the windmill with the burning destroyer next to it. Stay there until the storm blows in, and you get smited by God himself. Then, go to one of these 2 islands near the E point. On both are these trees with parrots on them. Walk onto the tree, and wait about a minute. After waiting, a light will appear in the water. Oh, there it is!
Shoot it,
Do it.
and watch.
Holy shit, watch this,
Where
watch this.
does it
Oh,
come
look
from?
at
What is that?
this is here. Maybe you shoot it again. Oh, look. Oh, it just shot into the water.
It's not on the flag. Holy shit!
Oh, there it is, you're out there.
Oh my god!
Pretty cool.
That was sick.
On Hainan Resort, you can go to the top of the main building, get the AMR-2 battle pickup, jump onto this air conditioner or whatever it is, prone in exactly this spot, aim towards the broken container ship, and shoot the light that appears. Neat. On the map Operation Whiteout, near Sea Point, there are a bunch of icicles that you can pick up and use as a knife. It took me quite a while to get this footage, so please, appreciate the reaction. And then this happened. And finally, the Gulmud Railway Yeti. Very easy. Go to this rock here with a rocket launcher, find the bright light, shoot it, and... yeah. Incredible. Tier. Remember the skid loader from all the way back in C tier? Well, it's actually kinda busted. If you get on the back and aim down your sights, you're inexplicably given a literal wall hack. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it works. Seriously, look at this shit. It's incredible. Tier. And for our final tactic, the most fucked one. This one has no real counter, and is completely broken. However, it will certainly get you banned, so use at your own discretion. There's a section of wall that can be clipped through up near the E flag. Playing as Recon with the MAV, jump on these boxes and place the MAV inside this section of wall. It's really finicky and hard to get right. Once it's down, jump onto the MAV, prone, and slide into the wall. Congratulations, you're now on the ceiling. Fly a MAV through where you just slid and pick it up. Jump on this corner and run across the ceiling to this little outcropping of ice. Place your MAV once again in this little spot, climb up and slide through the small opening. Finally, you're here. You can place your spawn beacon. Now what's so special about this spot, you may be wondering? Well, we're behind a wall. Better yet, you can see and even shoot out of this wall, but no one can see in or shoot in. Like I said, this one's fucked. Use at your own discretion. Dear. So there we have it, lads. All the wacky shit I could think of. As many of you know, Battlefield 6 seems to be in the works. Once it's out, I'm gonna stream it. And if the game is any good, probably make a video. So stay tuned, gents. Again, thank you to World of Tanks. Goodbye.